Hi, I'm going to show you how to do the corners first method for solving the Rubik's Cube. Now the trickiest part about the corners first method is getting all the corners in place. Here we have that. We have all the corners in the right place, so pay attention. This is the middle. Here are the 4 red ones. Here are the 4 yellow ones, the 4 orange ones, the 4 white ones, the 4 blue corners, and the 4 green corners. They're all in the right place. And the trickiest part about the corners first method is getting these corners all in the right place. Once you have those corners in the right place, you can individually solve the other parts without moving the corners out of place. So as you can see right now, I'll quickly pop in a few parts of the blue side. Okay, so I've got the blue side solved, and I still have all the corners in place for everything else. And I can go further to solve other sides and eventually solve the whole Rubik's Cube once I have all the corners in place. So what I'm going to show you is how to get those corners in place using a few combinations of moves. So to get the corners in place, I have to explain a concept called orientation. And then we'll learn a move called the Wiggy, which is going to help us fix orientation. As you can see at the top of this cube, which is the red, I have the corners in the right place, and if we look around the sides, we've got yellow on one side matching the middle, green, white, and blue. So those are all right on the top half of the cube. What I want to do is get the corners at the bottom half, and you can actually see that I have one of those right, which is this blue and white one corresponding to the orange here. I need to get the other corners in the right place. And we've only got one orange corner on the bottom side, which is the opposite side of the red. It's in the right place. You know, we put it in the right place. We can always do that. And we're going to look at another corner, which is this one here. And we'd like to have an orange here. And if you look at it, you can see that this is almost the right thing, because we have an orange right here that we want down here. And you could imagine that if you twist this around clockwise like this, you'll have the orange come down to here, which is where we want it to be. We'll have this blue go up to here, which is where we want it to be. And if we twisted the corner again, we have the yellow going over to here, which is where we want it to be. So that's in the right spot. This corner is in the right spot. It's just oriented wrong. We need to somehow twist it around clockwise to get it in the right spot. And that's what the Wiggy allows you to do. In fact, what the Wiggy allows us to do, let's look at the top of the cube again, and if we flip it over exactly at the opposite end, in the back, I'm going to have this orange one on the back left side. And this one that I want reoriented is going to be on the black white right side. The Wiggy is going to make it so this kind of twists around. Now, it's going to take 2 Wiggies to get it in the right spot, but sometimes it'll only be one. It'll always be 1 or 2. And when I do the Wiggy, this is going to remain in the right spot. So I'm going to do a left Wiggy to illustrate this concept. So here's how it goes. Remember, these are in the back. The one that's right is in the back left. The one that we want rotated is on the back right. And we're going to do the left Wiggy to make that rotate. Left Wiggy is as follows. Okay. I go down, left, up. So you can see what I've done. I knocked one of the red ones out, and it's over here, so I'm going to turn it this way. Then I'll go left, down, right, up. And there we are. That's back in place. Everything else is as normal. And as I promised, this one, which is the orange, white, and blue, has stayed in the same place. You'll see that something else has happened. We got the orange here, but that's not the one we're after right now. We're after this corner, which is our yellow, orange, blue corner. And that just kind of twisted in one spot. If we do the left Wiggy again, it'll be like another turn, and that'll be in the right spot. So let's do our left Wiggy one more time, exactly as we did before. Here's our top. The one in the right spot is back left. The one we want rotated is in the back right. I'm going to go down, left, up. We're going to turn this way, and left, down, right, up. There we go. There's the top. And let's look at the bottom. In fact, we got super lucky because we actually got everything in the right place, and that was just lucky. And we now have all corners in place. It won't always be that lucky, but that's the concept. Okay, so we got extremely lucky in that last example, and we're not always going to be that lucky, so I'm going to show you the other two cases that you will see after you do your Wiggy that's guaranteed to get two things in the right place, two corners in the right place on the bottom. So let's look at this example. This cube here, it's got the red corners in the right place, and we'll look at the opposite side, and it's got two orange corners in the right place, and as you can see, they're exactly the right matching oranges. And what is interesting is the other two oranges are over here on this part, and in fact these are in the right place. You can see here this one, orange, yellow, blue. If we just did a Wiggy, it would be like a corner twist, and that would be in the right place. And the same thing with the bottom where it's orange, blue, white. We just need a Wiggy to fix that up. The other possibility, which is the worst of the three possibilities, is this cube, which I'm going to show you if we flip it over. Again, we've got the two oranges in the right place, which we would have got by our setup. But on the other side, there's two oranges. But this is an interesting one because it's not just an orientation problem. You can look here. This is blue, orange, and white, but there's no yellow there, and there needs to be a yellow here for it to just be an orientation problem. So in fact, this one actually belongs down here, and vice versa, this one belongs up here. So we'll show you how to solve both of those. For the second one, we'll need a different move, which I'll show you later. But first, let's go to the first one, where the only problem is orientation problems. These corners are in the right place, they just need to be oriented differently. So, to fix those, it's the same thing we did before, just Wiggies. Two Wiggies will fix this up. And let's just do that, because remember, here's our top, and what we want is to fix these things up back here, so we're going to put those in the back. And it doesn't matter which one you do first, but I'll start by doing right Wiggies, which will keep this in place and right way. So here we go. First right Wiggy. Again, let me start over. I'll go down, right, up, turn this way. So that's what we got. We go right, down, left, up. That's one right wiggy. So we can look down there, and it looks like we messed everything up. Don't worry about it. We're going to do it again, and we're going to get this one oriented correctly by doing it one more time. So right side goes down, then right, then up, turn, right, down, left, up. Okay, we got our top, and on the bottom we fixed up this guy here, and now we're going to fix up this guy with left wiggies. Don't worry that we move these out of place, because something magical is going to happen. As you see, we're just going to do our 2 left wiggies to fix this, and then the others are going to pop in place. So here we go. Left wiggy goes down, left, up. Here's our top. We turn, left, down, right, up. And I told you we need to do it 2 times, so let's do it that second time. Down, left, up, left, down, up. Sorry, right, and then up. And let's verify the magic has happened. We've got the oranges, we've got the red, we've got all the yellow corners, the blue corners, the white corners, and the green corners. So all corners are in place. Now I'll show you the other cube and what to do with that one. Okay, so here we are with the one where we have the unfortunate thing that it's not just an orientation problem. We have corners in the wrong place. So here's the top with everything right. Here's the bottom with the oranges and greens in the right spot. But the problem is this little guy here belongs down here, and the other guy down here belongs up here. Yeah, because this is orange, blue, white. There's no yellow here, so it doesn't belong here. So that's where we use Hoopie Doops. Hoopie Doops are removed to mix your corners around so we get them in the right place. And once we get them in the right place, then we only have to do orientation corrections with our wiggies. Here's how we do it. Here's the top of our cube. Look at the bottom. And the ones that are in the right place, we want that facing us. Okay, so those are right here. Look at this. And it starts out a little bit like the right wiggy. What we're going to do is turn the top. So we have it here. Then we go right, just like we would with the right wiggy, and then up. Okay, it looks like the right wiggy right now. But in the right wiggy, we would be turning to the right. Instead of that, with our Hoopie Doop, we're just going to bring this guy up. So we pop this guy out back here. Then we go right. Then we go back with this one. And then we go like this. So we got everything in the right spot. And the last thing is a half turn of the bottom. Boom, boom. So we got that right. Let's look at the bottom. Looks like nothing's in place. Looks like we completely destroyed everything. However, it's not as bad as you think, because look at here. White, green, orange. That's where it belongs. It's just not oriented correctly. Over here, white, orange, blue. Right, that's where it belongs. White, blue, and orange. Just not oriented correctly. All the way around, we have things in the right spot. We just need to correct orientation. So once we have that, we just need to do our Wiggies, and we can solve it. So I'll do it quickly. I'll do a right Wiggy, and that's going to pop something in the right place down here. And I'll do a left Wiggy to get this guy in the right spot. Okay, those are in the right spot. Over here, we just need orientation correcting, so we put those in the back. I'll do a right Wiggy. And left Wiggy. One more time, and all should be done. There we go. Oranges are right, reds are right, blues have the corners in place, yellows the corners in place, greens have the corners in place, and whites the corners in place. So we have one last thing to show you so that we can always get the corners in place, and the point is, when we started this tutorial, we looked at the opposite side, and we had it set up kind of nicely so that there was an orange one in the right place. In this case, let me put it in the right place. And then we only needed to reorient something else to get those in the right place so that we can do the remaining part of the tutorial. However, in this case, we don't have that. As you can see here, this orange one doesn't match this one because this is white, this is yellow. And we could look around to see if there's any two adjacent corners that kind of match and only need an orientation correction. And to make a long story short, in this case, there aren't any. So we have a problem that we can't get to the part where we started to solve everything else. And what do you do then? Well, when your corners don't match up, you just do Hoopie Doops. And usually one time a Hoopie Doop will fix it. If not, you might have to try it again. But let's do one Hoopie Doop and let's see if that works. So we're going to just do a quick Hoopie Doop. And now let's look at our bottom. So we have one orange one. That's where it belongs, with the white and the blue. And let's look over here. There we go. This one is blue, orange, yellow. And that's exactly where it needs to be. So the one Hoopie Doop did it. And now we can do what we did at the beginning of the tutorial. And let's try to go through that really quickly. I'm going to do a left Wiggy. And another left Wiggy. And now let's look what happens. Oh, I've got these orange ones in place. Hooray! And it would be nice if I had all the corners in place, but I don't. Instead, I have this one and this one have to be swapped around. So at that point, I would just do a Hoopie Doop to fix that up.